Good, so our main topic is the success, the power, and the glory comes with the medical profession, more or less somehow. And we first ask ourselves, what is actually success? And the definition of success is that it's a social status which gives you a certain honor or prestige attached to one's position in society. This is the grammatical definition. Also, it is an achievement and a goal that you reach set within a certain finite time. So, if you, for example, achieve a medical degree, if you achieve a specialty, or that you achieve any kind of thing that you put yourself in life as a goal. And also, it is the opposite of failure. So, obviously, when we fail, we do not succeed. Now, the next question would be, what is power? Power is basically the ability of a person to control or influence the choices of another person. The term authority is often used for power perceived as a legitimate form. So we do not use power in the common tongue, we use more like a form of influence or authority. Now, the exercise of power in our society usually comes with a certain rank structure, with a caste structure. The human race is very effective at creating these ranks or hierarchies to ascend as you progress with your knowledge, as you progress with your skill, but not necessarily. So therefore, the third part, and the most pleasant one, is what is glory? And the dictionary describes it as great honor, as praise or distinction accorded to a common consent, renown, and so forth and so forth is your wit, and this is the basic definitions of glory, but all we can say is that we always know what glory is. Now, the questions that Solomon and I ask ourselves is, how do we deal with it? How does it affect us? How do we see ourselves in this perspective? And how does our self-image change? And also you have questions as how does it affect our professionalism as future doctors or a doctor's professionalism? How many of us want this power? How many of us want to be a natural leader? And how many of us want to enjoy also the benefits of being rich or being wealthy? And still, how many of us really do care about the patient after such and such years in the beginning? So, as we're thinking about it, someone maybe swap the slides. It will be easy to. Yeah, so as we're thinking about it, just push down. Yeah, exactly. So the main question that we were thinking is, how would you do it? How would you adapt yourself, and who would you become if success and favor and power would favor you? So, for example, I don't know, if Amin would become the chief resident of a really renowned hospital in Lebanon, how would he behave? Would he be still the same great guy that he is now, the friendly, or would he become a pushy guy that is trying to tell people to carry his slippers back here and to carry his operating gown there? We don't know.
And during the presentations, perhaps we have these questions in mind.
Absolutely. So the next main thing is that we would like to compare two pretty obvious stereotypes, but you've got to give us some credit for that because in the medical world it's really different, and we would like to use these. So ask yourself, who would you become? You would become either like Niptak, the super successful plastic surgeon with the girls and the cars and the travels and the private practice, or Solomon, would you become a helping hand in difficult situations, like somebody who's working at the kids, as we call it, in the emergency room, and so forth. So please think about it. How and who would you be? Now, the next thing is that our world. Look at our world. Let's say 50 years ago. We did a lot of medical progress 50 years ago, but really, look at the world now. Look at medicine now. I think it changed, and it changed in the way that we have billion-dollar medical companies, we have pharma stocks, we have clinics that are basically run as businesses, we have people owning clinics as an investment, and not just the primary use of the clinic to provide healthcare for a certain community or a part of society or society itself, but also as a running business. So therefore, you have a lot more people engaged in private practice. And private practice, differentiating from clinical practice, is that you are aiming for your own benefit, so you're becoming an entrepreneur. And therefore, medicine becomes a entrepreneurship and a business.
And I think that the main reason why we are referring to, for example, private practice is because this is not just a change within medicine, but also a change within society in general, where basis of different opinions become more relevant, for example, in considering money issues.
Absolutely. Wealth, investment, taxes, these are all things that you have to start considering. You have to start thinking not only like a medical doctor, analyzing your patient, giving diagnosis, suggesting a plan of treatment, but you also have to manage your financial incomes, your money that you invest, all the various medical equipment, which is quite expensive. So therefore, it becomes much more of a headache to really do all of these things at the same time and still remain as professional and improve your practice quality. So, for example, if you take a VIP plastic surgeon, there is a book which is called The Secrets of the Fifth Avenue Plastic Surgery. It's a book written by a plastic surgeon from New York who actually delivered something which is very much behind closed doors. It's the story of what really goes on behind all these operating rooms when people come and say, oh, I want a nose job, or I want to get a bigger ear, or whatever. This is the VIP plastic surgeons, as they call themselves. So it's surgery by choice. And then the most pressing issue of all the professionals is the balance. You may invest a lot of time into your profession, into diagnosis, into building up of your company, but if you come at home, for example, at 8 o'clock, Ash, and you started your day at 6, and you've been doing patients and calculations and bossing people around, and then you have a husband at home who is sitting with the baby, and you say, I'm sorry, darling, I don't have time for you. I'm so tired, I can barely stand on my feet, because tomorrow the whole circus starts again. So it's quite difficult, and many people, they walk a very distinct path in one direction, and that's career. So a lot of times their personal life, their family life, their friends, they all become irrelevant, and the life is all about the practice, the medicine, if the medicine really matters anymore, and yourself and your own ego.
And also when it comes to the word success, as we talked about in the beginning, it's important to understand that success always doesn't necessarily mean a positive change in life. Also, we need to consider the bad things.
With it comes a great responsibility. So there is a syndrome which is called the bachelor life. And the bachelor life is basically that you live, as you progress in your age, in a bachelor state, because you are just not able to find the right woman. That's option A. Or you are having a relationship which is very superficial, so you do not have the time to invest into deep emotions and relations due to people at work calling you all the time, your cell phone, your BlackBerry ringing you up, and you're basically not even having time for dinner normally, or to talk about normal things. And also that a very successful medical doctor has the choice of either the woman liking him for his amazing personality, or liking him for his extremely thick wallet and all the goodies that she can buy with it.
Once again, this is also a case of where medicine actually meets society in a problem which not actually is only based because of career, but also because of, as we said, goals. What is important, what is relevant also in a relationship with other people.
Now,
Case of being a success.
let's talk about money, about cash. The big problem with very successful doctors is that they have no time either to spend it, or they have no idea how much money they're actually accumulating at some point. And money becomes a currency which is quite irrelevant, because you are only using it to basically fulfill your short-term needs, and you don't really plan out the investments that you take to prepare for the future. You never know. Then lightning strikes and suddenly you're in the hospital yourself and you don't know what's going to happen. So therefore, This is the number one problem that most successful doctors